We're all chasing growth, right? We pour money into marketing, into tech, into sales. But what if the single most powerful lever for your success has been hiding in plain sight this whole time? Today, we're going to talk about how your people strategy can be the rocket fuel for your business or its biggest roadblock, especially right here in Bangladesh.
So let's just jump right in with a big question. Is your people strategy actively pushing your business forward? Or is it like driving with the handbrake on, and you don't even know it? Seriously, think about it. If you're constantly fighting high turnover, team friction, and compliance headaches, well, that's the handbrake. It's slowing you down right when you need to be hitting the gas.
So what exactly are these hurdles? Well, a lot of the time, there's problems we see every single day, but just don't recognize as the real root of the issue. So let's pull back the curtain on the common business pains that are practically screaming for a smarter people strategy.
Does any of this sound a little too familiar? Watching your absolute best performers walk out the door straight into the arms of a competitor? Or that constant low-level anxiety about navigating the maze of local labor laws? The sheer amount of time and energy wasted on manual HR tasks that, let's be honest, should have been automated years ago. If you're nodding along, trust me, you are not alone. These aren't just minor headaches. They're symptoms of a massive growth bottleneck.
Now this right here, this is a total perspective shift. That missed sales target? It's probably a motivation issue or a training gap. That huge project away? Yeah, it probably comes down to poor team communication. This quote forces us to look right past the surface level stuff and find the human element at the core of pretty much every business challenge. It is a game-changing way to see your business.
And let's be absolutely clear, ignoring these people problems has a very real and a very high cost. This isn't about feelings. This is about figures on a spreadsheet. We're talking tangible lost revenue from high turnover, productivity absolutely plummeting from disengaged teams, and the massive financial and reputational damage of making a legal misstep. The key takeaway here? Inaction is often the most expensive decision you can possibly make. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. Now what's the solution? Look, this isn't about just putting out fires as they pop up. It's about bringing in a strategic discipline called HR consulting. And I really want you to stop thinking of it as an expense and start seeing it for what it truly is, a powerful, strategic ally fighting in your corner.
So, in simple terms, HR consulting brings in specialists to solve your toughest people problems. But the real magic, the secret sauce, is in that last part. Align people strategy with business goals. That's the game changer. It means you don't just hire a coder, you build a compensation and culture plan that attracts and keeps the top 1% of coders in the entire country, which directly fuels your biggest ambitions. See the difference?
And just so you know, this isn't some niche service for giant corporations. The global market for HR consulting is a staggering $31 billion industry. Now, what does a number that big tell you? It tells you that in today's hyper-competitive world, getting your people strategy right is no longer a nice-to-have. It is a fundamental, non-negotiable part of modern business. It's table stakes.
Okay, a $31 billion industry is impressive, but let's get practical. What does an HR consultant actually do? I mean, how do we take these big, messy challenges and turn them into actual concrete solutions? Well, let's take a look at the blueprint.
Think of this like a diagnostic chart for your company. On the left, you've got the symptom. On the right, you've got the strategic cure. Can't find the right people? That's not just bad luck. It's a symptom that needs a sophisticated talent acquisition strategy. Are your team's skills getting a little stale? The cure is a targeted training and development program. See? It's all about fixing the root cause, not just putting a Band-Aid on the problem.
All right, now this is where things get really crucial. You can download the best HR playbook from some global giant, but if it doesn't work in the real world, on the ground, in Dhaka or Chittagong, it's completely worthless. For any business in Bangladesh, the real magic, the secret weapon, is blending global best practices with deep, nuanced local expertise.
Let's just be blunt about the difference here. Generic, global advice gives you a one-size-fits-all template that completely misses the subtleties of Bangladeshi business culture. Expert local guidance, on the other hand, gives you tailored strategies that actually work here. It's the difference between a plan that looks good on paper and a plan that delivers real results in your specific market. And here's the bottom line. You simply cannot afford to get local laws wrong. A deep understanding of legislation like the Bangladesh Labor Act of 2026 isn't just a bonus. It's the shield that protects you from huge fines and messy legal battles. For example, the Act has very specific rules on how to calculate final settlements. One tiny miscalculation, the kind of generic template might cause, doesn't just create an issue with one former employee. It can trigger official complaints, government penalties, and permanently damage your reputation. That is exactly the kind of costly mistake that deep local knowledge prevents.
So you see, this isn't about a one-and-done fix. This is about building a long-term partnership that moves you from constantly fighting fires to strategically building your future. This is about creating sustainable growth powered by the one asset that no competitor can ever copy: your people.
And the results aren't just feel-good metrics. They are measurable returns you will see on your profit and loss statement. That first bar for increased efficiency, that's the end of those manual processes that were draining your resources. Significant cost savings? That's what happens when you stop losing your best people and avoid those legal landmines. And that third one, higher employee retention? Well, that's the bedrock of any high-performing business.
So how do you even get started? Well, the path is actually really straightforward and collaborative. It all begins with a simple consultation so we can understand your unique challenges. From there, we dive deep with a full needs assessment, we build a custom strategy designed specifically for your goals, and then we stick with you, providing continuous support to make sure you succeed.
The single greatest untapped resource in your entire company is the potential of your people. It's time to stop leaving all that value on the table. Are you ready to turn your team into your most powerful competitive advantage? Let's start the conversation and make that happen.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. For a moment, forget about your competitor's marketing budget or their shiny new product feature. Instead, just imagine a future where your team, their skill, their engagement, their loyalty, is the one thing that nobody else can copy.